Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Frontline Prediction League. Yeah, this isn't a show with a name yet. We're not doing that. That's coming. And I'll just say right now that BeerMe and I will have a show coming up. We'll be looking at stuff once we announce stuff, but we have to announce stuff first, and that's coming. Right now, though, this is a status update a week later. Just first off, thank you everyone who signed up so far. But I'm not the only one that wants to thank you. My name is Scott. I should have led with that, but we'll go from there. But with me are the other creative team of the former JRPL. We are now here on FPL, the Frontline Prediction League. And I will mention them, and they will be here. So, Jonathan C.T. Martin, how are you?
Hello. Pretty good here. Not on Frontline, luckily, because that show sucks. But I'm here. It's going good.
Yeah, some things never change. If you see our character chat, yeah, we're not friends, but we are friends. This is. There you go. This isn't the storyline stuff. This is us. So yeah. Also with us is the Gmsg, who I hate with a passion in the storyline, but is actually a friend, like I said. So, how are you?
I'm doing very good, very nice, very evil. Love you, Denhausen.
Gmsg? Yes. And then Redhead, who people know from the storylines as well. Red and I, we have characters that are in a relationship that it has gone all over the place. We are actually not that, very much not that. But that's just, it's kayfabe and characters, and that's what we have. But Red, welcome. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm not a female. How are you?
There you go. That's something to mention. So yeah, so what we were gonna just mention is this. Like I said, thank you to everyone who signed up already. Just numbers wise, we have enough for a Rumble. That was kind of the key thing we wanted and we needed to make this thing work. So thank you for that. We'll talk about the specifics of the Rumble and stuff from there. I'll just mention right out of the gate regarding the sign-ups and the names. The names, something that is helpful with the Discord, which you can see to the side here with the sign-up page right there that Red wrote, and this is a request Red really has, is to please put your name in your screen name in the Discord. So like GMSG has his name and then GMSG in a bracket or flip, whatever it is, so we can tell who's who, because sometimes you see a comment from someone and you have no idea what that name is. Just makes things a bit easier for everybody involved. It does help out. But
Can I touch on that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. Yeah.
The big reason I wanted to bring that up is for the fact that when I write an article or write a write-up of a match and I need to ask somebody what they think of it, if I search you by your name in the league and you're not the same league name in the Discord, it's hard to figure out who is what, trying to manage over 50, 60 participants.
Yeah.
So if you just put whatever name you want in Discord and then put your FPL name in parentheses after it, that would help a lot with getting the right people the right write-ups.
Yep.
Also, trying to get people just before the deadline for the submission of shows. It also helps trying to find the people.
Yeah.
Or when you mess up a confidence point, just in general.
Yep. There's been a few times where I messaged Vitamin, but it wasn't Vitamin because it was someone else saying Vitamin sucks, and that was their name. I was like, oops, sorry, wrong person, that's not Vitamin. It just helps us out. It's there. You can still put other stuff in there, but obviously there are multiple reasons to make that work. So,
By no way does FPL think Vitamin sucks. Just
Well-
want to put that out there.
I mean,
remains to be
he
seen.
kind of does, but okay.
He kind of does. No, we're very thankful for everybody who has signed up already. We've seen lots of new names, lots of returning people from the JRPL with new names. So like that's something I want to touch on again from last time. You can absolutely carry over your character. We know a few that are not. That's okay too. And I mean, much like wrestling is what it is, I'm sure at some point, if you want to touch on your past from the JRPL or the LWPL, we can always incorporate that, where it turns out, oh yeah, this Mick Foley guy, yeah, he was in other stuff before, that kind of idea. So we can absolutely do that kind of stuff, I'm sure, down the road. But if you don't want to touch on out of the gate, we don't want to say this character used to be this one, and you're like, no, it isn't. So that will help us out as we go.
I just want to remind you guys, Vitamin has a different name in this league. It's not Vitamin anymore.
Yeah. There's going to be a few like that, so it will help.
Perfect example.
I'm just saying, Vitamin still does not suck.
But you can't suck if you don't exist. Or can you? I don't know. That's a negative. But anyway.
Positive thinking, Scott. Believe in it.
There you go. And that's what we're trying to really get with this, too. We're not negative on anything. We're trying not to be. I mean, we're human. I'm Canadian. They're American. Whatever. But we try to make this thing work. I knew I would get one of the guys with that. But we're trying to make this thing and trying to make this thing work as best we can. In the past week or so, there's obviously been falling out with the LWPL, for those who are familiar with the Legendary Wrestling Prediction League that started up in the fall as a successor to the JRPL. I mentioned it in the last video. Many people are familiar with that. When our announcement video went up, people were upset. And that sucks. We can't control if you felt upset or betrayed. I understand even parts of why you might feel that way. That was not the intention. If you remember back to my other video, we planned this and had our ideas to do our own thing for quite some time. We didn't decide on it fully in detail, and this is stuff that we've posted in the other chats. These are not affiliated at all with each other or the JRPL. Let's make that clear. Anybody can start up a league. All four of us could have done our own thing if we wanted, and each run it. There's no claimage rights or anything like that, technically. Like, I'm very glad that the LWL came out when it did to fill that void, because we were burned out. I'll say it again. We didn't want to keep going in that moment because of what was happening with creative differences. Period. That's why we stopped. And the four of us, if I'm misspeaking, guys, you're here, which is part of why we're doing this, for full transparency. I myself, and I know you guys were also asked to join the creative for LWPL. I initially said outright no. But I said I will help with consulting and helping out wherever I can. And I was brought into the team. And I gave Urban advice here and there. And, I mean, again, we're not trashing anything. That's the whole thing. We've seen it in our Discord already, and we shut it down. I didn't like the anti-bomber stuff that was there, perpetuating just because it was fun by some. Others legitimately didn't like him. Can't stop that. But if it's sarcastic, whatever, we want to stay positive. We want that in this. And there's only so much we can do on that as well. Like, we're not affiliated. We're not connected. I had every intention of doing cool co-promotional stuff with their stuff, because that's something you do in Wrestling Wars. Look how cool AEW and Impact is right now. But it's just not happening, because they're not happening. And if they left and decided to shut things down, which has happened, there's only so much we can do. Like, I don't know if you guys want to elaborate on that specifically. That is why we're doing this. I just know the timing of it was the summer and springtime when we were going, is it even worth continuing? Because as someone volunteering for someone else, the only obligation is if you want to or not, and if you want to do it for others, which is why we kept going when we did. But when I got to a head where it was like, look, we're not going to keep doing this, that was it, and we realized we can do our own. But from the burnout, we wanted to wait, and if we still felt that way at the new year, we would do it, and that's where we kind of reconvened in early to mid-December to go on with it. People that were upset that they weren't told about it, I'm not going to name names, because people were. That's unfortunate. I didn't tell anybody but these guys, but I told Urban specifically, and there was miscommunication there, admittedly. He didn't understand it, or I didn't explain it well enough. Fine. But I didn't tell him that we were absolutely doing it. We were considering it. That's why we kept the name Frontline. And if that wasn't shared with anybody else, I can't help that. If we didn't tell anybody else and they felt they were deserving of it, I'm sorry. BeerMe found out after everybody else too, and he's my co-host on Frontline. So we weren't telling anybody because it was our thing to do. If that upsets you, I'm sorry, but there was no way around that, because there was no way I was going to announce in October, we're doing a league in January, and then let everybody down. And there was no LWPL because they were waiting on us, and they didn't do it after all either. It's just the timing of it. It was the time frame. So I just spoke over everybody else if they wanted to say stuff. Did anybody else want to elaborate on that at all?
Yeah, I was cool with just being a mod for a while, because I was drained. I did not want to do anything. I barely even commented in any Discord server I was in.
Yeah.
Even when Red brought up the idea of starting talking about the FPL before we even fully decided mid-December, I was like, I really want to do this right now? Do I want to wait till the end of the holidays, like January? Like, I didn't even want to go near anything.
I dragged my feet a bit too, I admit. I was like, oh, we got plenty of time. And then it was December 20th. Like, oh.
We all did.
Are we going to do it or
really
not?
did.
Yeah, so honestly, I thank Red a lot for that, to hammer it, to really make us realize the year's ending, we have 5 days. So,
and it reminded us of how much we loved running the JRPL.
Yep.
I kind of want to like not talk and let you guys keep praising me, but honestly, this is when we did JRPL. The four of us, we had a great time working with each other.
Mm-hmm.
We thought about this quite a while back. It was just a thought. We didn't know what was the status of JRPL going forward. We didn't know, and then we just decided to take a 2-month break and start up something that we would feel proud about running ourselves. I apologize to anybody that was offended with the whole LWPL, but you guys went ahead and did your thing. We didn't get offended at it because we didn't know how it would go on. We could have had 2 leagues running at the same time and nobody would have had a problem. If you guys felt like you couldn't continue because you wanted us to do what you wanted you to do, then so be it. But we were not going to come do LWPL the way that certain individuals wanted it ran, but we were doing all the work. We literally just left a situation where we were not happy being told what to do and how to do it. We wanted this to be our thing only. With that being said, I got one last thing. With that being said, anything in this league can be thoughts or suggestions or anything can be brought to us. We're very open. If you want your character to sit there and dance the chicken dance as a signature, well, think about it. But you can have a lot of say-so in how your character works. We want to have an opportunity for you guys to express your creativity just like I love doing this, expressing my creativity.
and we'll be like a writer's team with ideas back, too. So, but CT, you were going to add on to that as well?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, also understand, like, we know we can run a prediction league because we've done it for a year, and we had worked out all the kinks on how to communicate and stuff. I mean, we don't need to get fully into it, but like, first week Gmsg cussed me out. Like, we had our issues, let's be honest, but we worked it out. Like, we know how to work with each other. We know our dynamics. So to ask for us to like take over, but to fit into a larger group when we could just do it, right? Like, at least with my personality, and I'll just say for myself, like, it's extremely weird in a large group like that where it's like their league to come in and be like, hey, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to do it, and like take over. I don't really want that, especially when I am super busy during the holiday time, and it just wasn't something where, like, personally, I'll just speak, I wasn't up to be like a leader there. But I mean, still, we all supported in our own ways. We were all part of either a mod or booking or whatever, and we still all were down to help in that way. But you know, if we can run a league, all four of us, and this is clearly going to be the easiest option. You know, I'll be very transparent. When everyone was leaving JRPL, like, I left because I didn't want to deal with a new group of people, because it's very easy. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's very easy to work with this group of people here, Gmsg, Scott, and Red, because we all know each other. We all know how to do it. We've figured it. So it is like a lot of time work, but it's relatively easy and relatively low stress. So like, why would I like agree to make it more complicated, have more chefs in the kitchen than we need, and just, I don't know, it just was something where and also we didn't even know if we were going to continue doing this. Not speaking, to get too behind the scenes, but there was like some dysfunction within LWPL. I think everyone there knows and agrees, and we've talked about that very openly. So just like, I really do apologize for anyone who got hurt by this. Obviously, that's not our intention, at least mine. It's a sad result, but still, like, I stand by what we did. And I hope you also understand, like, there's a reason we handled it how we did. There's a reason we didn't tell people. It's not that we were conniving this entire time and we're going to fuck everyone over. Like, we did have a reason why we didn't tell people. And it really wasn't until like December 20th where we fully agreed on doing this. Like, it wasn't like we talked about it for months. It was that week when we really started to actually get stuff done. So just, I hope people understand that. I do apologize. But I do stand by with everyone here and how we handled it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had the if the whole time. Like, you could hear us on the Discord chats too in the JRPL live events where we're talking about it, like the if this or like what would we do, and there was the possibility there, but it was never a sure thing. I did not want to get people's hopes up. That's something I've learned a long time ago, especially when I was doing videos on a weekly basis or bi-weekly. If you give people a date, you got to commit to it. And if you end up not doing something that you didn't want to do, you're still letting people down, but you could have just not done it in the first place if you weren't sure. The last thing we wanted to do was let anybody down and go set something else up. And we didn't want to just leave the JRPL and leave everybody hanging. We had commitments for everything going through. We wanted to keep everything running and keep going that one because, I'll say it again, the four of us ran that for the past year. From All Out 2019 to TakeOver 31. I did say 41 in the last video. That was pointed out.
There were a few that helped in and out too. Chase, Tigers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Bomber, even Bomber. Let's be clear. Bomber helped out in areas.
Bomber. If not for Bomber, we couldn't have done it. Fairly.
Yeah.
Like I came in later, but he himself, the majority. I know I keep saying the four of us, but he did all of that himself, every single bit. The only things he didn't do was like I wrote my matches. Okay, well that's 1 out of 15, or whatever it might be, every other week. He wrote so much. He did all the stuff for it. It wouldn't have been what it is without him. Like that, period. But you still end up with disagreements, and you go from there, and that's where it was. There was no condition. I'll say this bluntly. There's no condition that would have had us come in to run the LWPL, or even kind of like be the people who were coming in to save it. I know that's sounding really presumptive compared to what's going on, but I'm going to put this very bluntly. It's January, technically 9th now, past midnight, but there's results not out from December. And we were panicking on our side if our results aren't out within, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. We had 5 for some of them, but that was like worst case scenario stuff comes up. But there's no way around that. It's got to actually be a thing to be a thing. And I'm saying right now, if the LWPL was firing on all cylinders and kicking ass, we still would have launched. It was regardless. It had no bearing on it. It's not because it was faltering that we launched, and it's not that it was on weak legs that we came in to kick it when it's down. None of that was any of it. Absolutely not. And you can believe as much as you want, but I'd like to think after hearing me talk on Frontlines and podcasts that, that I'm not bullshitting anybody when I say these things. 100%. I was looking forward to the idea of working with them. However, they have to have stuff exist for us to work with it. And as of now, it looks like it is shut down. I have no idea if the results are coming out. I've had to have things amended because if people know my character was invading on storylines leading towards hard to kill, which isn't happening from either of us. So I don't know what their plans are. I wish everybody well with it. The last thing we wanted was for people to pick us over them. Period. Because there's no reason to not be others. I thought because there's people in JRPL and other leagues, they could obviously be in both. There's no reason to not. And then you could have a storyline where maybe someone is exclusive to one or the other. We can work together on that, but it wasn't meant to be. There was, again, no situation where we would come in on that because we just left having disagreements with Bomber. I said it, but, I mean, you hear me on booking calls during the Best in the Business with Bomber for 3 hours. You know that we don't agree on everything. Imagine booking cards with that. That's all it is. There's more to it than detailed on that. It's not a dirty laundry call, just like last time. But disagreements led to us leaving, realizing we can do our own thing, and we can do it for ourselves. Those are exact words I said last time. So why would we do it for anybody else? And I'm sorry, but I don't care who that anybody else is. Anybody in the LWPL, I'm sorry, but that's not ours. It isn't. Flat out. And like CT, like you said, it's just we know how to work with each other. We know how it runs. We know how to incorporate things from each other. And this is something I've learned from my film class, actually, being a director, is you know how to work with people. If you need to get certain things from certain people, you know how to deal with them. It's not manipulative. It's utilizing strengths. And that's what we do. We know how to work with each other. We know how to fill each other's shoes if need be. Somewhat. I can't do some of the website stuff that you guys were doing. You guys were technical on that. I just wrote storylines. but we know how to make things work. So, sorry, you were saying?
Oh, I said we were good on the site.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, you guys did that, and that's how it was. So we're not going to come in and try to fit our stuff into there, or even try to force our stuff into there. That was never going to work, and it was never going to happen. And again, it's not regret, but I just hate that what happened with the LWPL. The fact that this second video that we're talking about for the FPL and promoting it is unfortunately addressing the backlash of the LWPL sucks. And I've kind of thought this over the past bit, but if we hadn't done anything or launched anything by January 1st with 10 days since TLC with no results, I probably would have been like, hey guys, do you want to kind of get the band back together and actually start our own thing? Because that one doesn't seem to be working out. So we probably would have come up with it afterwards anyway. But, sorry.
Yeah. And we aren't perfect either. Like, our communicate, like CT said with the communications thing, I literally pulled a Randy Orton with the Singh brother dropping on the table moment. Redh and Scott were not there for me cursing out CT for a glitch that happened on the website. And we have yelled at Redh recently a lot for other things because we're jerks and like ribbing each other.
Yeah.
But also, like, we get it. Like, we can have those conversations. Like, we just know how to communicate with each other. Like, if we need to have a hard conversation with someone because, like, they're being bad at something, like, we can do that, you know? Like, we're a group that can work together in every sense of that.
Yep. Because you got to take charge on it. And that's a very key thing as well. There's no bomber in this situation. And I don't mean that by him specifically, but there's no, like, one person in charge. Right? Like, yeah, I'm the one you see on the screen. But no, that's why they're here also as well. It's not me running it and they're the... No, it's the four of us and we're equals. At least that's how I'm looking at it. That's so specific of a thing that's the first time I think we've actually even said it in any kind of context. That's just how we're operating. Period.
Yeah,
so,
like I used to just do solely profiles and statistics, and now Red's helping a bit with that.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's inputting on booking and writing because we're getting to do stuff that we want to do. And
booking. Not so much writing.
Well, don't
Gmsg's writing ability is best with ones and zeros.
But
I don't know if you should be talking about writing ability, Redh, but okay.
I had to proofread a lot of your stuff for rankings. Come on.
Okay. I don't lose my articles, okay?
Oh. Really?
Really?
No.
See,
and this is why we get along so well.
Exactly. So it wasn't the case of just incorporating into someone else's league because that would be awkward and wouldn't work as well. There was, like I said, again, there's no way we're going to do this for somebody else because this is purely volunteer, and that's where it came on the other side, where we realized we don't have to do this anymore because we'd be getting ready for something and all ramped up and ready to go, and then something would come crashing down and ruin our night. And then we have to work at the hardest during that. And then usually do it anyway and still works out. So there was disagreements, 100%, with each other too. But we work it out. But it was the overhead. We didn't want to work anymore in that situation when we knew we could do it ourselves. And go ahead.
I think last episode I don't know what you call these, I'm going to say episode, but like last video introducing this, you really hit the nail on the head. Like, people just have different ways of how they think about booking, and eventually it gets so fundamental that, like, no matter what personally or anything, like, it just doesn't work. You have to be on the same page to some level. If you have two forces just completely thinking differently fundamentally about booking, it just doesn't work. Someone's always going to be upset at the decisions. So it gets to a point where it doesn't work, and that's just what it got to. We think one way, Bomber thought a different way. It is what it is. And like, neither one is right or wrong per se. It's just we fundamentally think differently, so it didn't work out. Yeah. And it's the same with a bunch of different people. I mean, you just have to find a booking team who thinks similarly enough to where it's competent, and you can move on and not get angry.
And we all love Otis here, right?
But that's the key. Even if you disagree with something,
it's not too late for me to quit.
Yeah, no. But even if you disagree with something, you can be, look, I don't like that one at all, but everyone else is on board? Cool, we'll run with it. That's what we're able to do with each other, with Otis getting a push, CT. But it would come in where it's like, if it's something that simply would be said like it can't be done, or it's a bad idea, we got that stuff, and we set it back. That's purely 100% how things got, and there's no reason for it. We felt. I mean, yeah, if we wanted to stay there, it's going to happen, but we didn't have to, so we're done. The thing with the LWPL as well is the specifics of that and carrying things over. Yes, if you want to carry stuff over, you can, but I mean, the storylines weren't even really going anywhere. There were no titles, nothing was there yet because it was just getting established, just getting off the ground. We can incorporate stuff, but we're not planning to. So do let us know if you want to, because I have no fear of referencing other feds. That's part of the fun of wrestling sometimes, right? But
can I add to that?
It's what it is.
Because I also want to ask if anybody does want LWPL character stuff to come to us, please come let us know, because we only got 2 write-ups. So we really don't know what characters are what. But if you had a plan you were building towards, we may be able to work that into ours, and by Mania you could have had what you wanted, but better.
Possibly. I mean, I don't want to say but better. I get that we're promoting ourselves, but you know what I mean. There's that.
No, I'm saying it gives it more time to expand and build, and after 3 months, instead of trying to get it done in the first 2 write-ups, because somebody's character in the first 2 write-ups might already be set, and you weren't ready to have it set.
I got you. That said, the timing is something very important. I want to get that out there as well, because if you are looking to sign up or you haven't signed up yet, the Royal Rumble is the 31st, and if you want to be potentially a part of it, you need to sign up by the end of the 22nd. The reason for that will become obvious later, because we're doing stuff on the 24th. So the 22nd is the one you want to do. You want to have it there. If you're submitted by that point, you're eligible to be possibly in. Simple as that. Beyond that, like I said, we're really looking forward to this going forward. We're looking forward to getting it going. We are thankful for everything on here. If you are upset, if you are distraught, if you feel betrayed, again, sorry. I'd never in a million years thought that the second video for this would be talking about that. We had no intention of anything happening to anything else, because this was completely irrelevant from anything else. If it happens, it happens. If someone swoops in to bring it by the bootstraps and get it reinvigorated because of this, to make that be a thing, cool. Go ahead. That's up to you. Not us. We're doing this. And anybody who wanted us to run that one, I'm sorry that you didn't know our full plans, but A, we didn't have full plans anyway, and B, it's not your business. Because part of it was the announcement. Like, we AEW'd it by announcing it on January 1st. Here's the league. Like, that's what we're doing. We're the AEW. Come on. It's how this stuff works. So, but yeah, I don't have much beyond that, guys. We could keep going about how we wanted to make this be a fun thing.
We want to talk about how the league's going to be ran? Or do we want to do a separate?
Probably separate.
Okay.
Also, as for the last 2 months, yeah, I've been on full break, and as everyone knows in the world, the pandemic has screwed up everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you live in the U.S., it's 10 times worse because of the election.
Oh, your country's great right now.
And it has caused so many problems with my family life and holidays. So I was basically angry and MIA for like the last 2 months. I would watch the pay-per-views that we weren't really covering for the LWPL. But outside of that, I was MIA.
And you had no stress because of no work with JPL stuff, right? So you were able to at least back away. Yeah.
I almost blew up 2 days ago because I lost power.
Oh, yeah. I mean, myself, I work in an essential services industry, so we've just been nonstop busy. I wouldn't have had time to do some of the stuff and commitments that would have been JRPL. We would have figured it out. We would have found a way to do it. No, I meant JRPL if we continued it. Yeah. Like, even that would have been that would have been problems. So to do anything else, it wouldn't have worked. I know these sound like excuses. I mean, we weren't going to run that, and we told you that. I know it sounds like we're just talking to LWPL guys here, but so there's no reason to not do it. If you want to keep it going, do it. There's no exclusivity reason. Like,
there are also just other leagues. Like we talk in this like about these two leagues. There's
Yeah.
multiple other leagues out there that people from our community run.
Yep.
It's definitely like a thing that happens and can happen.
Yeah.
Just whatever makes you happy. If you're not happy doing it, don't do it. If you're happy doing it, do it.
Yeah, and also when we were talking mid-December, I was already thinking like, imagine like JRPL as TNA like 6 years ago, and then it split off. NWA was formed. That was kind of the LWPL. It was the new changes, some old things, and then the JRPL we also took and changed it into what Impact is of TNA, bringing it back, but still keeping 90% of the same thing.
Yeah.
And they could have both gone together and out, but
And we're doing
I
this.
think Impact is the nicest comparison. But
Yeah,
I
Impact.
think we can
because-
try something a little bit nicer, but
Well, but
sure.
I call it Frontline, like I call it Impact. I don't call it FPL as much. I call it Frontline, but I'm used to that name.
yeah, we should start doing that.
Yeah. I think the main thing too is remember the Bomber plans to bring JRPL back. Like
Yeah, that too.
he's planning to bring it back this year. He said 2021 on the website, so that's in the planning. I have no idea how or why, but that's a thing, and we know this full well. And if people leave to go there, you don't have to leave, but okay. But that's why we're confident with our side of things that we are the ones who ran that. Again, yes, he did stuff, and he did it before, and we'll do it again. But as far as I see it, he had burnout. Maybe he's good to go and can go another 3 years. Maybe we burn out in 2. I don't know, but I doubt it. I think we'll be good because part of the burnout was the overhead, and I know that'll be gone, and we'll be able to run and structure it. And we've got plans with the Rumble. We've got plans with Chamber and Takeover. We've got plans with Mania. We've got championships.
SummerSlam
We've got
plans. Come
We've got
on.
SummerSlam plans. We've got loose ideas to go all through the year, and that's because we've done this before. Like I said before in the last video, we had JRPL plans with Mania in mind in October to be like, well, things could go here, but it's fluid. It changes. But we like to think we know what we're doing. I think we've gone from that because that was actually the JRPL motto of we kind of know what we're doing. We can turn that around to
what we're doing.
we know what we're doing because we're doing it ourselves. Not that we didn't before, but we're confident in it to do it. So, yeah, to get things back on track and positive, the next videos that'll be coming are going to be Royal Rumble related. There'll be some fun stuff with that upcoming. But also Frontline, whatever it shall be named, will be returning with BeerMe and I, breaking down the actual card in a little more specifics once it's announced. But CT, I know we were talking about announcing the Rumble itself, like matches for that. I think we want to save that for right now, right? Or did you want to release something there?
Wait, we want to surprise everybody and announce the card now?
Well, not the whole card. Maybe I could,
Yeah, whoa.
you know, maybe we
These
could,
are our fans, people. We need to let them know we know what we're doing.
I mean, I could let my opponent know who they are. That could be
I
something.
love
fun.
impromptu bits of us revealing stuff that we don't know
Should-
what we're going
should
to say,
we-
so we're all just hoping we're doing it right.
Yeah, how could you tell from the way we're talking? That's what it is. No, I legitimately planned to mention my opponent to at least start that because it seemed appropriate. But I don't know if you wanted to mention anything else. If it's inappropriate.
I think we could mention that. And why don't we all just pick one match and mention it?
Okay.
I want to do the main event.
Card awkward.
Well, I'll mention my opponent because they're probably watching and listening. At the Royal Rumble, I'm going to be facing RGX. I look forward to the promos for that because he knows I'll be doing one now. So that match is official for the Rumble. I was going to say opening it, but no, it's not. It's somewhere in the card. I don't know if we want to give the main event out, though, Red. I'm not sure if we
I think we need something for them to talk about the first main event of the
What?
first show.
That's the Rumble.
I think that's
though,
okay.
so-
I think
Go
it's
for
okay.
it,
to
Yeah.
mention.
See, this is how our calls go. This is how we operate. So
Do we want to do it now, or do we want CT and Gmsg do their?
if you're doing
I
the main
think
event, do that last. I think.
Yeah. All right.
I'll throw out two people in kayfabe I really don't like: James Costner and Junction, facing off with each other. James Costner a little bit better, turning on JD. A little bit smarter, but
Wait a minute.
don't necessarily like either of you. So I hope you both actually lose and get injured in this match. But you will be facing each other.
I will say James Costner does not suck.
See, storyline callback. Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, he doesn't suck, but he swallows pills, right?
Oh,
Ooh, all right. Your match, Gmsg.
god damn.
Which creature?
And I thought I was the dark one.
You didn't list.
So
off
you
who-
are, but
You didn't list off of the 3 simple creatures. So which ones are they in that match?
There you go. There you go.
we're doing it live. This is actually being taped, but
CT, who's in that match? I actually don't know.
I posted it. Look.
Oh, I was looking up. All right. It's gonna be the simple creatures represented by Modstep, Chappers, and Frontline's Golden Boy, JJ Rocky. or
yeah.
JJ. Oh, I hate saying that. I always line was originally versus a name to be decided of a stable of Bastion, BeerMe, Jesus, and me, the Gmsg.
That's a scary
It's a working
faction.
title.
GMSG is going to get a good name for that because that's what he does.
I still love you, Green and Tigress, who's now Lexi.
Scott, I don't
Sorry,
imagine you like that stable too much. That faction I don't imagine is your favorite.
Oh, 3 rivals? Oh, oh, we just should be called Scott's rivals, shouldn't we?
Write it down, write it down.
That's an option.
Hey, Scott, do you need any help? I know of some people.
Oh, I know a lot of people.
Are you
One
helpful?
might say an infinite. That's not the word. That's not how you say it.
Uh,
Only
people?
one will say it, and it's me. Yes, an infinite number of people. Ah.
And Lee is back and the Midnight Rider's gone. What happened?
Dun, dun.
Leave it to Lee to do the first goddamn promo. He beat me on JRPL
Yeah, that
for
was
that too.
impressive.
Son of a bitch.
That's the other thing. If any of you guys want your promos put on our YouTube, just send it to us.
You can do your own too, but we'll host them.
Yeah.
We'll host
Yeah,
them.
and, if you,
But-
and also, if you post them on Twitter, we'll just retweet them.
Very true.
All right, so the main event is going to be a fun match that came about.
Well, we should clarify, not the overall main event is the 30-man Royal Rumble, but the singles main event.
And
Oh,
it's
main
just an event. The main event, the main event, the one that actually matters, is going to be Casey Warden versus the competitor formerly known as the Warden, now called the Arbiter. We wanted to do a Warden of the past versus the Warden of the future.
That's
Our
how we
main
operate.
So Casey Jones is now in the future
No,
facing off against
no.
an alien?
Casey Jones. What? No. No. You stop that.
This is how our booking calls go.
Welcome to Frontline.
It really is.
You guys are
but-
getting some free behind-the-scenes stuff. We don't charge.
Yeah. So we do want to do more of these as we go. Just gonna be like, hey, this is the us behind the scenes. Here's us being complete goofballs. Obviously, it won't be a super regular thing, but it'll definitely be a thing because it's this easy to do. We turn it on and we record it, and it goes, about 30 minutes, guys. But the BeerMe and Scott show, which is probably going to be the name of that if I call it that, is going to be the weekly thing where we break things down, look ahead, look backwards on things. And that's the old Frontline formatted show. I think from there, follow on this channel. Red, do you have the Twitter handle ready if I say it slow enough for you to be able to give people the address?
Yes, it is going to be at Frontline League, all one word.
There you go. We've got the Frontline Prediction League Discord here. The links for both of those will be down below. And, of course, this is the YouTube channel as well, obviously. You can follow us on our Twitters if you want to reach out to us on Discord as well. That's where this is all based. That is where you want to reach us if you have questions, concerns, ideas, whatever it may be, let us know. And, I guess we can take it out from there. If anybody else has any final words, GMSG, anything last you want to say here?
Donate to Danhausen's blimp cause for Ring of Honor. Sorry.
And anything about the whole Frontline thing we're doing that you want to talk about, though?
Sorry.
God, we gotta get Danhausen on here. He would do this, actually. He would.
We're very shiny.
Is that yours, Red? Are you good? You want to say anything else? Or did we just encapsulate that perfectly? Was that...
I honestly didn't know if he was being serious and he found something.
I'm not sure. I really don't know at this point. CT, how about you? You good?
Oh, no. I was
Fuck
gonna say
Frontline and CT Martin for champ. I am looking okay, on a serious note, this is fun. Like I like not to like make JRPL seem like horrible, but like it was pretty miserable towards the end at points, and like I don't know, I was really feeling burnt out, and like just getting the league together and getting the Discord together and seeing everyone join and getting the avatar picks, like
Yes.
it is legitimately exciting. Like I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to get going, build these characters, build to Mania, see who wins the Rumble. It will probably just be Tino for the third time, but like we'll see. Like it should be fun. So I'm legitimately excited.
No, we are very happy to see how many people joined, and we hope more of the former leagues or other wrestling leagues that we are not a part of, please join, just to see what's happening.
Absolutely. It's a big thing. We were beyond thrilled as it was going up and up and up those first couple days, seeing people joining and coming in. It was awesome. Like I said, other stuff happened with other leagues we talked about, and then the numbers kept going, and I think it was today we confirmed that we had 30 for a Rumble. So, like I said, if we didn't have that, it would have been a problem. We would have figured something out and have some Faces of Foley situations going with Redh3d12.
Which wasn't confirmed. We had conversations on what we're going to do if we don't hit 30.
Yep. It's like Red, get the mask. Okay, you're wearing that one for an entry, and we'll figure shit out. It's okay.
Did we really?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. Oh, but oops.
I do want to say one last thing before I get sent
Cover
away.
kid.
So, I know we're supposed to have this whole BeerMe and Scott thing once a week, every week. I want to know what the people think about this video of all four of us communicating, and maybe once a month we'll have a little either behind-the-scenes booking call or our thoughts on how the FPL is being ran. If you guys enjoy listening to us banter with each other, I'm down with making more videos with the four of us instead of just Scott and BeerMe.
I will say there's no way we're doing a booking call and recording it and uploading it because we got in here at 9. It is 12:40 in the morning. We've been doing this for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
No way. But once a month doing like a half hour to an hour, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I like that idea. I mean, obviously,
I agree.
we don't need to have much of it. I have a format. There's notes, but we don't have to it's structured. We could honestly talk for hours on our own accord. It's quite
But don't worry,
scary.
everyone. BeerMe will be back. It will be mainly BeerMe and Scott. You don't have to listen to us do this a ton. Don't worry.
Voices. Last league, we were quiet. Actually, both leagues, technically. But we were very quiet people.
And that's part of what we wanted to kind of move forward with, because there's no face of it or I know mine's video, but we're all in this together, and we want to do this with you guys as well.
He quoted High School Musical.
I was going to say that too. I was about to start saying that.
Send this out, Scott.
I'm very glad that I've not seen that, but I do understand the reference. Yeah, so thank you again for joining us. Thank you guys for joining me on this one. We look forward to doing this again monthly if Red suggested, or if you guys want it more frequently. We'll still probably do it monthly. BeerMe and I will be back ready leading up to the Rumble. That'll be a week prior to that, more than likely, and we'll have a video around that time frame as well. Probably revealing who's in the Rumble. That could be a fun thing, I think. Yeah, that could be good. So
I think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah. So people will know who's in. What order are you in? We'll find that out later on. That'll be a thing too. So I heard.
I just want everybody to know us four are not guaranteed to be in it.
Nope.
No.
Nobody is.
It is going to be completely 100% live recorded with everybody's name.
Now that we have more than 30, somebody's left out.
I do like how we were being vague about it, and then you just said we were recording it.
Yep.
Please,
Yep.
Scott, be number 1 and me number 2.
No.
Please.
Oh, I'll go back to start throwing people out first, and it'll be you. God damn it. No,
I'll take number 30.
No,
I'm
I'll just
fine
be
with
30 again and lose. That'll be a thing. That'll be good. Yeah. So now that that's been said, Red, thank you. But no, there will be stuff coming up.
It's for the people that stick around for 45 minutes.
No, we don't. No, we're not Would You Talk. We are going to record the Rumble.
God.
Yes. We are going to
throwback.
Yeah, it is. We are going to record the drawing. It will be one unedited thing, but you're not going to see it until Rumble time. So there you go. That was going to be something we were going to tell you when we did the stuff. You'll find out later. I'm taking it out before we take each other out, because that's how this is going. We had a good run.
Good old Rumble.
Good old Rumble. Thanks again, everybody, for joining. Please leave your comments. Please sign up if you haven't, and don't feel like you have to leave anywhere else to do it. I know that almost sounds asinine at this point, but we can't control how you feel, but we regret if you do. I feel sorry that you feel that way is not what we're getting at, but it's like, don't feel that way. Because we don't want that. This is going to be fun. You should be happy that we're doing it. We are. That's what we want to get across. So, thanks everybody. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. And I'll stop rambling. I'll see you next time.